Well, good evening or good morning, Eastern North Carolina. Here is a 2 a.m. update on Idalia. Still feeling the impacts. Storm is still continuing to quickly book it. Now around the Myrtle Beach area, almost directly overhead. It still is a tropical storm with 60-mile-per-hour winds. Moving northeast at 21 miles per hour. That's fast, but it's about to take more of an easterly shift before it moves into Eastern North Carolina. So that's some good news, but here you can see after it pushes offshore here later this morning, it will still kind of give us some impacts as it meanders around Bermuda. But we're going to focus on tonight here. And even though it's not, the center of the storm isn't coming near Eastern North Carolina or in Eastern North Carolina, the impacts are widespread. Still seeing heavy bands of rain continuing to push in waves across Eastern North Carolina. The flash flood threat continues to become more elevated as we continue to see heavier bands of rain right now. So, flash flood warning in Carteret County, Onslow County, and Duplin County, but don't be surprised if we see a couple more of these either extend or become more widespread, even in our inland areas. So, taking a look at live satellite and radar right now, again, we have those two flash flood warnings. Use a lot of caution as you are heading out the door late tonight or as if you're waking up in the morning as well. Watch out for any road closures or ponding of roadways. Right now, heavier bands continuing to move into Highway 12 near Ocracoke. Lots of lightning associated with this. So if you live near the coast, you're seeing lots of lightning offshore. And here's scanning the skies right now. Lots of widespread moderate to heavy rainfall, especially there in northern Onslow County, now in southern Carteret County. Jones County and Craven County starting to pick up on the action as well. And even some pretty steady rainfall in Pate, Lenoir, Greene County, Washington County as well. And here's rainfall totals with this storm so far. We generally picked up 1 inch to 2 inches. Some places, though, as you saw those flash flood warnings, have picked up well over 3 inches already as well. So as these storms continue to push in waves over the next few hours, especially into the sunrise hours for your commute on Friday morning, we are still under a flood watch. So that continues to be our primary concern. So always heed the information here. Here's future track showing as we head throughout the rest of the night. Continuing to see waves of rain as the storm becomes more to our south, say south of our beaches, well off to our south. We will kind of get a little bit of a dry spot, but that doesn't mean it's over. Still heavy rain expected through the morning hours for the commute on Friday, and then Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. As we head into tomorrow afternoon, notice we get a nice clearing line as high pressure builds in, and then our shift of the threats focus more toward the gusty winds out of the north and northeast that will cause a little bit of inundation and storm surge. But here's models trying to depict maybe another 5 inches of rain in some spots. It might be a little bit overdoing it. However, we easily could see another 1 to 3 inches across the region, and the ground's starting to not be able to take any more rain, especially along the coast where we have those flash flood warnings in Carteret, Onslow, and Duplin counties. So continue to be on the lookout here. Here's a few flood safety tips. We pound it all the time, but turn around, don't drown. You might think it's overdone, but can't stress the importance enough to not drive through any standing water. If there's barricades as you're heading out to work tomorrow morning, they're there for a reason. Don't try to go around them. Maybe find another way or let your employer know that you can't get into work until those waters recede. And of course, don't wade in water. We're heading throughout tomorrow morning. I know there might be some people trying to check out some of the flooding, but of course, you don't know what's underneath that water. There could be some dangerous things lurking around there. We still do have, actually, the tornado watch has been canceled for our southern, south of our area. We still technically have a tornado watch until 4 a.m. this morning. That threat is kind of diminishing here. We've been lucky. Still some gusty winds that have also dropped some power lines down in Carteret County, but that shift is now more over Highway 12, where, again, we saw some of those heavier rains. And you can see as we head throughout past that 4 a.m. hour, we're kind of getting more of just steady northeasterly to northerly flow, which will help eliminate that risk for tornadoes. But we will continue to see the risk for flash flood warning here. And always, check out the Storm Track 12 weather app. Have a way to get weather alerts here overnight tonight. If you're not already in bed or if you're staying up late tonight, still have a way to get some alerts. And then again, we're going to shift our threats towards the more of the wind and the storm surge as we head into Thursday and even into the start of the weekend. There is a storm surge watch through midnight on Thursday. That could be extended into Friday as well. So with the orientation of the winds and the persistency of the winds, that's kind of what we're concerned about. We're not used, we are used to it here in Eastern North Carolina. Even in the wintertime, we get some steady northeasterly winds. You could see some ocean overwash, a little bit of 1 to 2 feet storm surge along our beaches, especially there along Highway 12 and even in our Onslow County beaches. Sound side of the Outer Banks, not that big of a deal. Kind of retreating the water there on the sound side of the Outer Banks, but it is more so. You can see the surge watch is in effect for a lot of our adjacent rivers and sounds. So the Neuse River, Pamlico River, the Albemarle Sound counties could potentially see a little bit of inundation here. And these, of course, the Neuse River could see in 2 to 4 feet of storm surge because of also the high tide due to the full moon that we're seeing tonight as well. So here is future track showing the winds. Winds actually will be the heaviest as we head throughout the day tomorrow as this storm pushes away. Could see 40 to 45 mile per wind gusts, not out of the question. Again, might drop some power lines, but the big concern will be the persistency of the winds and the orientation. The north, and then more so out of the northeast as we head into Friday. But notice, even as we head into tomorrow night into Friday morning, winds still pretty gusty, 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts, especially along the coast. And that will help continue to push that Pamlico Sound water down into our rivers and adjacent creeks. So as we head into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, still pretty breezy. Might still be talking about elevated water levels. As we head into Sunday, end of the weekend, Saturday night, that's when we kind of get some of the decreased winds and the less of the impacts with that as well. And again, we'll see tons of sunshine throughout the weekend. A couple of times I want you to kind of be aware of. It's been to Thursday here. This morning, Thursday morning, around 8 a.m. is when that high tide will occur. That's one of the times where we're expecting some higher than normal levels. Again, at high tide around 8 p.m. Thursday evening, and then around 8:30, 9 a.m. on Friday morning even, still potential for some higher than normal water levels. Of course, you know the flood-prone spots, Union Point Park and New Bern, the Chinkapin River here. We also have river flood warnings already in effect. As you know, if you live here in Eastern North Carolina, we kind of get a delayed response from the rainfall that we're seeing tonight. It's going to take a while for some of these rivers to actually get those water levels up. So we could be talking about possible river flooding over the weekend, even as the winds are dying. So especially along the Trent River, there's a river flood warning already in effect for the Trent River west of Trenton, and also the Cape Fear River there near Chinkapin. Very used to this as well, but the Tar River there in Pitt County, not out of the question. We're going to be certainly closely monitoring water levels, even as we head throughout the weekend, and we see lots of sunshine. So one last radar update for you here. Again, still seeing those tropical bands of rain showers and heavier rain continuing to push across all of Eastern North Carolina. We have that flash flood warning in Carteret County, Onslow, and Duplin County, and we might still see a couple of those pop up throughout the night as the ground continues to not be able to take any more rainfall. And decent amount of lightning still with these cluster of storms moving over Ocracoke, Highway 12 south of Hatteras. The threat of tornadoes continues to push north with these heavier storms as well. So we'll continue to keep you updated here in the overnight hours once every hour. Next Hurricane Center update as well. Of course, we will be on air at 4:30 a.m. on News Channel 12 this morning. Quick update on the 7-day here. Lots of sunshine. We head into really Friday and Saturday, Sunday as well. And that, in fact, this needs to update. The 7-day just switched over, but you get the point. Lots of sunshine, cooler weather, pleasant weather for the next few days heading into the weekend, but don't let your guard down. Still going to see a little bit of elevated water levels and those gusty winds throughout the weekend. I'm Meteorologist Grant Carlton. We'll be back here later tonight with another update.